Now, we've been making quite a bit of Catwoman content as of late, so I thought we'd talk about her first appearance on Batman the Animated Series, a show that is just a classic, as well as being generally loved. Not just by Batman fans or even DC fans or even comic book fans, but just fans. This show got a lot of fans into comics because of how classic of a show it is. It molded Batman into becoming the dark and gritty knight once again. Of course, so did the Tim Burton films, but the animated series definitely gave it him a push. The show itself is just amazing. Now, before we talk about the episode in question, that being The Cat in the Claw, there's some behind-the-scenes stuff that was going on with the character's original concept art, that being Catwoman. You see, the original idea for the character design was to appear having black hair, as well as having her costume be more inspired by the 60s show, with them clearly altering the older style for a more modern, at the time, type of vibe. However, Batman Returns just came out, and it was very popular, especially Catwoman. So the character be changed to mirror the character in the movie, with the blonde hair as well as a gray and black costume, which was chosen after they decided the stitched up one would have been too hard to animate. I'm not entirely sure why they didn't actually just do the original concept for Catwoman's costume and why they changed it to gray and black, as it doesn't actually mirror the Batman Returns version of the Catwoman costume. It seems as if they just kind of like vetoed out the 60s one and then they couldn't do the stitched up one and they ended up going to this one. Now, the episode in question is The Cat in the Claw, which has been separated into two parts on certain forums, but yet is also referred to as being a single episode on other forums. It was said to be a two-parter on Netflix where I had watched it, but where I got my notes for this video was on the Wiki DCAU page, which referred to the episode as being a one-part. Regardless, it starts off with Catwoman and her cat Isis stealing a necklace when Batman intervenes, which turns into what is, in my opinion, a very fun chase scene with the cat falling behind, which I thought was really funny, but also great. And it ends with them having a bit of a flirtation being born between them, that of course is going to get developed as the episode goes on. We cut to Bruce being auctioned off for a date. Is this a real thing people did? I'm sorry, I'm 17, I don't know, but I've seen this in media a lot where people like auction off dates. I find this weird. Anyways, blonde Selina shows up and buys the date. However, not for the date, but because it's for the charity it is for. And doesn't even want to go on the date with Bruce, but he does push in order to get her to agree to go with him. That being to lunch. But it seems as if there are always interference as they try to go on their lunch date. This episode continues to display the relationship between both Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle, as well as Batman and Catwoman. Both being shown that they do have feelings for each other, as they both do also when they disguise as one another. I made that sound like they're dressing up as each other. I meant as in one another, referring to their alter egos. Selina gets caught up in something about Red Claw's terrorist group. Red Claw is actually a character created for the DCAU, kind of like Harley Quinn, Livewire, Roxy Rocket, Devil Ray, Renee Montoya, Nora Fries, Terry McGinnis, Blight, Inc., Furon, Zeta, Shifter, Baby Doll, and etc. All of them have made it into the comics. And Red Claw recently actually made it into the Catwoman series, as of the time of this recording, as in the currently ongoing one. Which does make sense, considering that she first appeared in the DCAU, a part of a Catwoman plot. I'm surprised it took that long to get the character into the comics, because some of them were right away, and others took a very long time. Renee Montoya came out in the DCAU and the comics within the same month. Yet for Livewire, it took almost a decade. And for Harley Quinn, it got very confusing because her character was being played into in Elseworld stories, but not in the main continuity. And when she was, they kind of played in a way where Mad Love was canon to the main DCU, when it kind of wasn't. It was a DCAU tale. Regardless, if you like Red Claw, then you probably really like this episode. And if you like her, also I would recommend you check out her debut in comics, which is Catwoman issue 43 and 44. Now, Selina got caught up in all this mess as she was trying to interfere with their plans to go after a wildlife reserve, which will result in the death of wild cats. And they learn that she's Catwoman by, well, following her, and they end up attacking her while she's on a date with Bruce. So we keep seeing them trying to work together, both in and out of costume, unaware of each other's secret identities. Now, Redclaw is also trying to steal some bioweapon, and does from a train where Batman learns of what is going on, as well as that famous clip of Batman saying he's a double opportunity crime fighter, which I cannot play because, well, last time I tried to play a clip, YouTube did not like it. And also, if you're wondering what episode this episode is, like I said, it's Cat in the Claw. However, the episode numbering is very complicated because certain places label this as the first episode of the entire series. Other places in the 20th somewhere. Others place the part 1 being the first episode of the series and part 2 being the 9th episode of the series. So I suppose it's really where you look in order to watch this episode or learn about it, because it changes for some unknown reason. I mean, the air date, I understand, is a little weird and wonky with this show. Anyways, Batman is actually learning what it is that Redclaw wants with Selina Kyle, and that is she is Catwoman. Batman and Catwoman actually have to work together to take down Redclaw's group, with some great action scenes, especially for its time. However, the episode does end with Batman admitting that he loves Selina, but he has a duty, and he arrests her, apologizing to her. This episode is very, very strong, especially for Catwoman and Batman. Now, yes, Redclaw is a little generic, but Catwoman and Batman come across extremely strong, not just as Catwoman and Batman, but as Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle. You see the slight changes in their personas. I try to say something there that was not personas. You see the slight changes in just how they present themselves in a different fashion. Also, Selina doesn't really come across that villainous. Even though, yes, she is technically a criminal, you're definitely on her side here because, well, she's trying to save animals. I mean, hey, I was on her side, and I didn't even know that Redclaw was a part of this plot. At first, I thought people were trying to ruin the wildlife. Regardless, if you haven't seen this episode or episodes, I highly, highly recommend it. It is very good. It also has some subtle commentary on sexism, with some lines working and some of them kind of aging fairly poorly, especially of what Batman says to Redclaw on the train. But yeah, opinions could vary. And that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!